Happy New Year, School District of Indian River County. This is your superintendent with this year's first Get More Connected. I want to start this session by hoping and wishing that everyone had an absolutely outstanding holiday break. Hope that each of you had the opportunity to disconnect, spend time with your family and loved ones, really taking advantage of having 2 weeks home with your children, which means some of you are probably looking forward to students returning to school this coming Monday. And as we begin a new school year, we want to start with a new commitment. This is the first year in which we haven't had to struggle through a pandemic, but we still struggle as we return. And we want to make sure that we're all committed to working together as a community. Each school working together as a community and the entire community working together. We as a community need to be the community that sets the example on how to create world-class education for its community. The time has come to stop talking about creating that reality and put ourselves to work in order to create that reality for our students. One of the things that we're going to do as we begin the new school year at each of our secondary schools is ask for all of our students to commit to success. And this is a pledge that we're going to have throughout each of those schools, and we're actually going to ask our students to process this information. They'll go to assembly, they'll receive this information, and we're going to ask them to sign this banner, this pledge, and have it posted throughout the school. And it reads, we, whoever the school would be, are committed to being the best, to be the best, in order to be the best, treat each other with kindness and respect. We will not tolerate bullying, violence, vaping, or disruptions of the learning environment. And committed to saying something when we see something. We take responsibility for our own actions, behavior, and academics. We are committed to these things because we are committed to success. This is the environment that we want to produce for each and every single one of our students. And I would ask each of you that are listening or watching not only to make this a commitment for our students, but make it a community-wide commitment. If you pastor a church or a rabbi of a church, have that conversation. Deliver that message regarding what we need to do to create environments for our children in which they can walk into schools, feel safe, feel comfortable, and focus in the quality instruction that our teachers provide on a daily basis. When we see something that is not appropriate, even if you don't know that student, you should follow up. You should act. We look at vaping, and vaping is an issue. Seeing and knowing students who vape and knowing what the long-term consequences could be, if that was your son or if that was your daughter, wouldn't you want somebody to advocate for them to get the support or help that they need? The same with violence or any appropriate behavior. We will have the environments in our school. It's not negotiable. There is zero tolerance when it comes to these kinds of behaviors. But in order to bring it to life, we all work together. We all stand up for what is right, and we make this commitment. So I'm looking forward to each of our students and all of our families having this conversation about committing to our own children's success and committing as a community to that success. As a result, we'll see continued improvements in academic outcomes. We'll see improvements in students attaining scholarships. We'll see improvements in students accessing the vocational programs and receiving the certificates that they need to be successful in life. That's why we do this work, to ensure each and every single child in our community has the opportunity to maximize their full potential. That doesn't happen in isolation. That happens for everyone when everyone stands up, everyone supports, and everyone advocates for what is in the best interest of children. That's what our community is. I know that to be true after being here for just 3 years. Also, in terms of saying something, when you see something, we have the Fortify app. We have seen significant improvement in terms of use on this app. These posters are throughout the school. It is a confidential way of reporting something that you see at school. It goes directly to district leadership, directly to the principal, directly to law enforcement, and we are able to strategize and provide the support that is needed. So if you're not willing to go and say something to an adult in the building, here is a quick, easy way. It's on every device that we push out through our school system. It will allow you to connect and get support to those who need it in order to ensure we are protecting our learning environments. We also want to remind everyone of our new attendance competition. We have drastically improved attendance. And we're so proud of that, and because we have improved attendance, academic outcomes are going to improve. It's that simple. You're in school more, teachers are able to teach more, and you're able to learn more. And we want to continue to push that through. So we're shifting up the competition just a little bit. We're still going to have it. We still have high expectations regarding attendance, and we're going to uphold the expectation around attendance. There will be a number of students, unfortunately, who didn't heed the warning regarding attendance, and there's a number of consequences or actions that need to be taken. In some cases, if you're not in class and you don't have an excused absence, we're always going to work with you. We're always going to support you and work with your parents when there's an excused absence. We want to be in partnership with our parents in that. But when students are excessively missing, there's opportunities in which a contract will be established or credit could be withheld if you don't fulfill that contract. So our high schools and our middle schools have been saying that all year. There's a small group of students, but attendance is important. The truth is you cannot go to a job and miss 15, 20% of your employment days and maintain employment. And we need to ensure that we're translating that behavior, that work-related behavior, into our schools to ensure you're successful when you graduate from our schools. So some of the competition shifts. First, before we do that, let's acknowledge our winners for the first semester. Rosewood Elementary maintained the highest level of attendance throughout the first semester. That's the first 9 weeks of school. That's absolutely outstanding. Storm Grove Middle School, the middle school winner, and Sebastian River High School, where you at Vero Beach, takes home the trophy for the high schools. Now, some shifts that we're making, well, before we get to shifts, I'm sorry, in terms of overall staff attendance winners. Quarter one was Storm Grove Middle School. That's interesting. They won it for both their students and their teachers. I'm sure there's a correlation there. And as we move into the second quarter, we're going to be surprising that school in the coming week regarding who won that competition for the second semester. Now we can talk about the shifts and changes to our competition, making different teams throughout the county, really providing opportunities for everyone to experience the success. There are schools that have shown drastic improvements in attendance over the course of the year, but haven't necessarily had the highest rate of attendance. And so we're shifting up a little bit, so some of those schools can be acknowledged for their rates of improvement. So what you see here are 3 different geographical teams put together. When those will be the groups in which we provide the trophies to versus doing it by grade configuration. Also adjustments to some of the logistics, whereas before we were taking and giving and taking back the trophy. As long as that school has a trophy and they win it each of the 2-week sessions, they'll continue to maintain that trophy, and we'll utilize Facebook, Twitter, and our social media to celebrate those winners when the time is appropriate. Those are our attendance updates. And once again, encourage each and every single family to have a conversation as we return to school, reminding them of how important school is. It's just not the opportunity to create friends and be social. Is that part of it? Absolutely. But we are committed to providing quality education to ensure students have every opportunity to maximize their success. It is a serious business when it comes to educating children. We're looking forward to an absolutely outstanding school year in partnership with our community to create that world-class education where all other systems can look at and say, let's do it like Indian River County is doing it. Thank you, and let's have a great year.